I was looking at this Breakfast Club interview with Kamala Harris, the third interview, the first time there with Angela Yee, and the topic is about Kamala Harris takes aim at Joe Biden, gender pay gap, climate control, Russia, and more. So she gets to talk about all of these, which is of no interest to me. But what did caught my attention is that after 29,232 views, there are only 1,100, 1.6 thousand likes. But there are 2,000 dislikes. In the YouTube world, for what I understand, the dislikes doesn't really matter. It's based on the attention that the channel or that particular video gets. Now, my thing is this, and this is a video I guess I will publish today. My thing is this. What I see, a higher perspective, from a higher perspective, what I'm seeing is this. Her likes for being on the show and her dislikes for her being on the show, for the most part, shows, okay, so I was wondering how to see the exacts. And now I just found that by accident. It just went there and the pop up. Great. There are 1,602 likes and there are 2,054 dislikes. So the difference between the likes and the dislikes, and this is just today, so I don't know if we're going to get a million views like X669, whatever your name, and some other people that have been on it and got a million views over time and whatever. I don't know if it could get that many views because right now they only have 29,232 views. So there is a 992 difference. There are 992 more dislikes than there are likes. And what that tells me is this. It shows that there are more people in the black culture, and I'm saying black culture purposely for a reason, because some people don't want to be considered black, African American. I don't choose to be called African American. I don't have a problem with black American or just American. For basically, I'm just, as I'm concerned, I'm American because I was born on American soil after the name was changed from Turtle Island to a man that came over here and caused all this destruction of black people. To his name is Americos, so America. Since this is America, I will be considered. I, I prefer to be called American. Period. Not African American, because even though my ancestors are from Africa, as far as my great great grandma goes, my great great grandparents were born here. They were born here. Now, my great 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 grandparents, I don't know. They were probably born here too. They could be the Aboriginal, dark skinned Indians that was here when that Mayflower, whatever, all of that stuff they taught us in history taught us in high school, which is a full of BS. We find out later on that it's just a bunch of crap. Come on, a Mayflower and all it got us watching TV, teaching us this thing as if 3, 4 generations later, our offsprings, the offsprings of our ancestors, wouldn't learn better. Anyway, what I see here is that she wants to believe that Black Americans, as a majority, supports her, even though she may have Black American support. We can see here that she don't have the support of the majority of Black Americans. So this is a Black American um, station that is run by Black Americans for Black American entertainment and news, because that's who the target audience is. So that's why she is here, and she's she wants to be considered black, but you can check my video. I did a video on her since she said she was bused. She was bused from a black school, all black school, to a all white school, and that was traumatic for her. Based on her hair and skin tone, I don't I tend not to believe she suffered severe extreme things when she went there, because I don't believe those kids treated her bad. Dark skin, I would think so, yeah, maybe. But according to the research, her her immigrant parents settled in the black community, and when she started school, bused her to a wealthier, whiter school. So she never attended the black schools, because she's 4 years older than me. And by the time I was in the fourth grade, third, fourth grade, integration in the school started. So the integration started as she was old enough to attend maybe first grade or kindergarten, because I knew they had something called or kindergarten. I don't think they had kindergarten. They didn't have kindergarten when I went to first grade. There was no kindergarten. There was no Head Start. I remember that because I remember when Head Start came, and I remember when kindergarten came. So she's 4 years older than me. So that means by the time I was in third grade, she would have just coming into the school system. So though she was lived in that community and probably dealt with whatever or whatever had to deal with, but that's where her parents choose to live, and had her bust out of the neighborhood to the whiter, wealthier schools. So I don't see where she was traumatized by being bust out. Anyway, regardless of what she wants us to, the narrative that she's trying to spin for her election, the fact that there are 992 more at this moment dislikes than likes shows that she's underwater, drowning, head completely covered at the bottom, with Black American support, and she has no ADOS support, which are Americans who are descendants of slaves that sharecropped with immigrants, not immigrants, who keep ties with their country and just move here like Kamala Harris' family did and bust her out to a whiter, richer school. And I'm only using the word that they use in the article that I read. You can check my video for that. In comparison to the kind of lost my thought. In comparison to the votes of non-ADOS, just Black Americans are Americans. As someone say, well, as in Jessica. Oh, I don't know. I call her Jessica. It's because her name Sheila and Jackson spin the word to me as Jessica. Why? Why I don't know. But anyway, Sheila Jackson Lee, immigrant parents. Kamala, immigrant parents. They're both raised. She bust out of the black community into the white schools, richer schools, and Jessica, Sheila Jackson. I don't know if she was bust out, but she did. But she definitely got a wealthier education than the average black person in the community that her parents choose to reside in as she grew up in a black culture to be the congresswoman that she is in Texas. I think it's Texas. Anyway, and Sheila Jackson is being compared to John Lewis as in Yvette's on Yvette's channel. She has an issue with Sheila Jackson because of her non-ADOS lineage in comparison to John Lewis, who has an ADOS lineage. But in listening to T. West on Afro Synergy, he seems to be fine with Sheila Jackson and and had a whole list of John Lewis votes that is pro illegal immigrants and anti anything that upbuilds the black community. And they said there is no black community. Well, whether it's a good community, a bad community, or a divided community, the bottom line is it's a community as far as I'm concerned. But with all that said, Kamala Harris and her dislikes and likes on the Breakfast Club shows me that her, as far as her election go and her presidential campaign go, she doesn't have the support of no ADOS and may not have the vote of the Black American culture as a whole, from the Black American culture as a whole, which is the vote she's looking for. Now, I've been told on a few channels in the comment section that black votes are not needed. And my thing is, if they're not needed, why are you fighting for it? Why are you going to black churches and cookouts trying to get the votes of black people if you don't need it. Because a black American says, but I'm not going to vote. No reparations, no vote. Well, they don't need to vote anyway. And I already know, I already understand where that going because of the immigrants that she is and the illegal immigrants that she supports that the majority of the American immigrant children whose parents are still illegal immigrants are building a society for them to rise up and keep the black community Americans at the bottom, living somewhere in despair. It's just not gonna happen because the answer because Black America, ADOS, is awake and they are educated and they know their history. Because baby boomers are still here. My mother is from what they call the silent generation. She's still here. A lot of the silent generation who gave birth to the baby boomers are still here. The millennials are not fooled by this, and they're creating their own life for them. And then we have the Gen X, which is the one that got the ball rolling for ADOS and a black agenda, um, bringing back the campaign for reparations, demanding tangibles for 2020, or no black votes, as well as the Gen Z, which are the babies. Yes, and I'm in tune to them. I know what they're doing. Right now, they're just babies having fun on social media while their parents are trying to figure out a better life for them. And these kids, they come into this planet knowing. They come here knowing what their millennial parents are doing and going through because their millennial parents take them everywhere because there's no such thing as daycare where you can keep your kids. There's no nuclear family where the grandparent keep children because the grandparent gotta work till the day she die, till the day they die, to provide for themselves because the children got less, have nothing. So the children gotta make something out of nothing to feed their children, and I judge nothing that they do. Even the black family that's fighting at Disney World, I don't judge them, but that's the path they choose. And I would not have been that mother knocked down on that ground. Because I would have been standing back watching them telling me, y'all need to learn how to act, saying whatever, but I would not be up in that fight trying to stop nothing. Because one of my kids hit me, my shoes coming off, period. I may have weak legs from MS, back hurt, neck hurt, but I'm swinging. I may be on the ground kicking or whatever, but I'm kicking and I'm swinging. So first of all, I'm not even gonna get up out of my electric chair. I call it an electric wheelchair, mobile. I don't know what you call those chairs. Anyway, I would not get up out. I would be sitting in that chair with my hand on my chin, watching the kids act a fool. I would not be a part of that fight. I'm just sitting up there telling y'all need to learn how to act and see whatever I gotta say. My husband would have been there. My son, the one doing all the fighting, my husband would have just. But then this lady apparently don't have a husband. The mama don't have a husband for whatever reason. There, Maybe he said he wasn't going because the kids don't know how to act, or she just a single mother raised a bunch of crazy kids, and my kids act like that, and they had their father in their lives forever. They always had their father in their life, so we can't say a single mother why these kids act this way because I'm telling you, these kids act this way because of life, because of life. Period. Like my son say, it's life. But anyway, and then in comparison to the white culture at the baseball game, fighting and acting crazy, attacking the security, fighting the security because security trying to put handcuffs on it because they don't want to calm down. It's just crazy. But Kamala Harris on the Breakfast Club, what she has to say doesn't interest me. Period. Because she's not talking anything I want to hear. And she's talking how Black American culture is going to get reparations, is going to get legislations that's going to put them in a position to create the bootstraps, to pull themselves up out of poverty, out of poor working class poverty salary wages, living in subhuman conditions, and nobody really caring about it, but want those same Black Americans to care about what's going on at the border. We're living in a new day. It's about everybody caring about everybody. And Black Americans are now, if it ain't about me, I don't want to hear it. If it ain't about me, I will keep my vote. Reparations, no reparations, no vote. No tangibles, no vote. No legislations like the LGBT got to get married, like DACA got, like the immigrants are getting at the border. Legislation to help them if Black America isn't getting it, if there's no Black agenda, then no votes. Because Black America has been voting ever since they was given a right to vote. And at the same time, given the right to vote to help other cultures, like the Hispanic culture, like the white culture, like the Asian culture, like the African culture, immigrants that came over here, but not the Black American culture that was born, bred here, born, bred, and raised right here on American soil since forever, whatever they may say. Kamala Harris doesn't have that vote. And this right here proves it. But anyway, that's it for this video. And I will catch you in the next video.